Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. I saw that. Did you know Queen Elizabeth had many, many diaries? And they are now choosing a biographer to go over those diaries to create a book about Queen Elizabeth. Now, it is tradition that the current monarch choose the author who writes the biography of the previous monarch. So it's up to King Charles. Now, I want to ask the cards, what's in those diaries? Apparently, every night, once she became monarch, every night she was very disciplined. No matter how tired she was or where she was, she would write for 15 minutes in her diary. Now, one of the things that is happening with those diaries, and I imagine, there must be many. I mean, she was monarch for over 70 years. So, how many diaries could there be? Apparently, one of her secretaries, who she trusted, who was with her the longest, is going to go over the diaries before they're released to the biographers and take out anything that would be embarrassing to the royal family, to the monarchy. And apparently, he has carte blanche to burn them, to destroy them, or to put them in archives, in Windsor private archives. So he gets to go through all of those first. His name is Tall Paul. Apparently he's quite tall, and that's why they call him Tall Paul. Well, no, duh. And he's the one who will hand over the diaries to the biographer. They haven't chosen the biographer yet, as of yet. They say it's a 1 to 2 year process. And first, they have to choose the biographer for Prince Philip. Once they choose the biographer for Prince Philip, then they'll choose the biographer for the Queen. And so, like I said, it could take a 1 to 2 year process. Apparently, there's front runners and whatnot. But you know what? In the meantime, I don't want to wait 2 years. Let's see if the cards will tell us what's in those diaries. What's in Queen Elizabeth's diaries? I want to know what they're taking out, because we're going to see what they left in, right? Right? We'll see what is Tall Paul taking out. What is he going to either destroy or put into the Windsor private archives? Now, they did do that. They did that for Diana's. Apparently, they burnt quite a bit of Diana's private diaries just to save embarrassment to Diana and to the monarchy. What are in Queen Elizabeth's private diaries that we are not meant to know? I imagine she wouldn't put anything in there that would be that embarrassing. I honestly don't think so. Apparently, it was more of her daily events than her daily feelings and whatnot, but some of it did slip in. So did she put in her private thoughts about some of the prime ministers or what's going on in the country? They're not supposed to be political, but that doesn't mean you don't have an opinion about something. You're only human after all, right? So let's see. What are in Queen Elizabeth's diaries that they're not going to let us know about? Let's be nosy. Are you kidding me? Page of Pentacles in reverse. I don't know what's going on with this deck. I can't wait to get home and change this deck. I've put crystals on it. I've put it out under the moon. I've tried to cleanse it. I've put it out in the sun. I don't know what's going on, but this is starting to freak me out. The first card, over and over and over. Is there something going to come out about one of the children? And the cards are saying you're asking the wrong questions. Ask about the children. Ask. Four of Candles. Ooh, we're going to hear about, one of the things we aren't going to hear about is like a marriage or a birth. Six of Good Cheer. We aren't going to hear much about the children and their home life. We're not going to hear much about that, because remember, we're asking the cards, what are we not going to hear about? Six of Good Cheer, Six of Cups, that's siblings, that's the past, that's growing up. That's, your warm, cozy home. And also we have here the Four of Wands, which also can indicate home. I don't think we're going to hear a lot about the children. To be fair, it's her biography, but I think some of the things they're going to take out are private thoughts about the children, right? Private thoughts about their birth, private thoughts about home life. I think we're going, that kind of it is going to be out. Not that it's bad, it's just her private thoughts, right? 10 of Canes. There is some information in there that's quite that could ruin something about a birth or the children or the home. There definitely is. Sorry, Queen Elizabeth is a human being, or was a human being, who was allowed to have faults, just like anybody else. It's just that her faults or her misgivings or decisions and choices that she made were kept private. King of Canes in reverse. Well, that's Prince Philip. So I'm going to just open this up a little bit so you can see it. Okay. I think that we are not going to hear anything about her and her disagreements with Prince Philip. They're going to take that out. So if she has something that could possibly be embarrassing to Prince Philip, that's going to be out. If there's something about the children or their home life or births of the children or those kind of things, remember, we're asking what's going to be taken out. So if there was something in there about Prince Philip, we will not, that they don't want us to hear. They're cleaning up all of that. Well, that's what Tall Paul is. He's cleaning up the things about the children, things about the home life, anything that could ruin some, or any time that she thought she was stabbed in the back, perhaps, that somebody wasn't loyal, maybe somebody that was treasonous. So that's going to come out. And also anything negative about Prince Philip, about anything that she perhaps, maybe made a note about, that would not show him in a good light, will be coming out. Of course, things that show him in a really good light will stay in. 2 of Candles. Look at, yes, they are working on what stays and what goes. He's working really hard at that, at what stays and what goes. And it has a lot to do with foundational celebrations, births and weddings and marriages and coronations. Like we even think, Prince Philip or Prince King Charles, when he was his investiture to become Prince of Wales, who her children married, that kind of thing. Geez, sorry about that. Somebody here. Wow, that was weird. 3 of Gifts in reverse. We also aren't going to hear about any kind of arguing and fighting that was going on, or projects that were unsuccessful. That's actually a better term for the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Projects that were unsuccessful will also be taken out. Wow, 3 of Candles in reverse. Yeah, any kind of project that was unsuccessful, they're not even going to mention. That's going to come out. Like they think that, like, I believe that Queen Elizabeth thought when they did some kind of movie or special in 1967 for the BBC, and it was Prince Philip's idea to make the royal family more approachable, I guess, or more open. And they felt that was they should have never done that. So anything like that is going to be taken out. Anything that was considered a failure or wasn't as successful as they thought she thought it would be, or any kind of different plans, that's going to come out. Also, some correspondence that perhaps she noted that wasn't maybe, um, I don't want to say polite, because I think she was always with protocol and whatnot, but perhaps um, it just wasn't purposeful. That's the word I'm looking for. I think they'll take out some of that as well. Four of gifts. Yeah, they're going to take out anything that showed how stingy or frugal or anything to do with budget or anything to do with money. That will also be taken out. So, any thoughts that she had, perhaps that they were spending too much money on something, that will be taken out. Um, so, anything to do with money or budgets, that will be taken out completely. Five of candles in reverse. Any kind of arguments, any kind of strife in the family, any kind of um, negative words about other people is definitely going to be taken out. And, in some respects, that's kind of sad because I think it would be really good to hear about her true feelings about some people. And I think that would show her as a human being. And it also would show how deep she was into protocol, in that you can not like somebody, but that doesn't mean you have to be rude to them in public, right? Or, so you cannot, appreciate their company or think that they're a bore. That doesn't make you look bad. It just makes you look actually better that you entertain them even when you didn't like them and you did it out of duty. And I think that might be a bit of a mistake to take out some of the really interesting fights. But this could be about family as well, right? This could be something about the family. So the arguments between the family, like we know, and Diana and Sarah had a bit of a tiff, and so, but they made up before Diana passed away, or perhaps Anne and Diana didn't get along, and that was noted in the diary or something here, but definitely anything that would um, indicate strife in the family will be taken out. The star. I think there'll be a lot taken out about Diana, and I think that that's why Charles is careful who he's picking to write this. I think he's going to, because you have to remember this book will be published while him and Camilla are on the throne. And I think instead of embarrassing his wife, Camilla, I think there things about Diana are going to come out. I think there any notes that she has about Diana, I think it's going to be completely skimmed over. Right or wrong, I think that's up to the monarch, the current monarch. Remember, he's the one who has the final say. And that might be part of the deal, is that, if you're hired, you have to promise that there'll be nothing about Diana other than a passing mention, perhaps, but nothing about their relationship. So perhaps a passing mention about the actual wedding date, or the first day that she met Diana or Diana's first Christmas. But other than that, I think anything to do with Diana, remember the star card is my Diana card. I think anything to do with Diana will be taken out. Anything, any of her notes, her personal opinions, that kind of thing will definitely be taken out. I don't even think the biographers will see any of that. And the reason I'm saying that too is the Five of Candles here in reverse. So perhaps even with her funeral, there was a bit of a kerfuffle there that, people are like, where's our queen? And putting pressure on Queen Elizabeth to say something to break protocol. And I think all of that will be taken out. What's the underlying here? The world. Wow. That's interesting. And the reason it's interesting is because that won't be the final chapter. If it was upright, it'd be like, Kate, that's going to be all wrapped up in a beautiful gift, a beautiful book, we're all going to feel very we'll have closure. That will be the last chapter, and we'll have closure. Actually, I think the book is going to present more questions than anything. And it might be because they're taking so much out that it almost will be like, you know, 1954 went to Kenya, 1955, right? And then almost like a Wikipedia page rather than a true biography of somebody. I think they're going to take out more than they really should. That won't show her as a true human being. And isn't that what a biography is? It shows your life, and your life is full of ups and downs. And to make it look only successful, and only everybody loved everybody, and only everybody got along, and she only got along, like, I think that's wrong. I think that takes away her humanness and makes it more difficult for us to connect with her, and connect with her, to say, wow, what a great leader. She really didn't like these people, but yet, we didn't know it at the time. She was, total amazing monarch about it. And I think this book I think they're going to take out too much, and they're going to leave more questions than answers. And we're going to feel incomplete when we actually do read it. Strength, strength, mistletoe, mistletoe, two of canes in reverse, two of gifts upright, Father Christmas in reverse. I think we're going to see a lot about how Prince Philip was her strength, and that he was her only one. So yeah, I think they're going to take out some stuff about Philip, so it looks like everything was amazing between them, and yet I think some of us know that. I don't know if it was or not. I think for the most part it was, but this Father Christmas here, I think it's going to show. Listen, I've done that reading, and it upset a lot of people that who's Andrew's father, and and I thought I was very kind about it, that showed that she was lonely, and her husband, just simply wasn't there a lot. And there was big rumors he was seeing a Russian ballerina, and other, he had his little things. And I think we're going to see her with the Hermit here in reverse. I think they're going to take out parts of it where she was really lonely. I think, I think there must have been, oh, there's definitely some loneliness here. The Hermit upright is, you want to be alone. You got your cup of tea, you got your book, and you just want some peace and quiet, and you're going to read your book. But when the Hermit is in reverse, you're lonely. You're by yourself, not of your own choice, and you don't feel like you have a lot of support around you. I think, I think they're going to take that part of it out as well. Her lonely times, her lonely days. Now, so let's get back to that other reading I did. I'm kind of tripping over this because there might be something in there about how she may have had googly eyes for somebody else. That's how I'm going to put it. We have the Lovers here, and the strengths. We might hear that, so and so was very nice to me, and um, I you're not supposed to speak ill of the dead, but I'm not speaking ill of her. I think that, when you're lonely in your marriage, I think, somebody wants to spend some time with you. I think it's very flattering. And I can see how that would give you strength. Like, maybe it's just as simple as her equerry, right? But she never crossed the line here with the Two of Canes in reverse. So I think that part of some of that is going to be taken out. Like, of course it would be. They're not going to publish anything that, you know, Queen Elizabeth said, oh, Robert and I had, quite a lovely time at tea, and I can feel, our closeness, things like that. I'm not saying that she wrote anything else other than that in her diary. And I think they'll take out stuff like that. Anything that looked like another man gave her strength or googly eyes or whatnot. I think they're going to take that out as well. They're going to take out the points that she felt very lonely. And I'm really getting a sense of real aloneness there. That sometimes, not all the time, that time, your children aren't quite adults, so you don't have them to lean on. And, your husband's away for 5 months and you've got all these things. And i- i- I'm just really getting that there was a loneliness for a man in her life. You have to remember Taurus people, especially Taurus people, enjoy touch. They're very, uh, they enjoy like the feel of velvet and the feeling of silk and beautiful things, and they love touch. Earth signs love touch. They love to touch. They love to kiss and hug. And of course, she didn't do that in public, but I think her private persona, she perhaps missed that closeness and felt very lonely without that sense of touch. And I think they're also going to take out some of the um, things that she wasn't really good at, perhaps that she admitted herself. We saw in The Crown, and you can roll your eyes at The Crown, but some of it is historically significant, that she found that she was less educated because of her homeschooling, and she took it upon herself to educate herself and read other books. And I think that part of her life will be taken out, where she felt like she had no control over what she knew, and or I'm sorry, no control over feeling less than. I think she's going to take that part out. I think they'll take that part out too. And again, I think that would just show that she's human, that, she enjoyed learning. She enjoyed learning about different policies and socioeconomic and political things. She actually enjoyed that. And I think they're going to take out the parts in the diaries that show that she felt that she was less than, that she didn't have any control over those kind of things. That her position was just kind of show up and sign the paper, and she really wanted to understand what she was signing. She wanted to understand the world. She wanted to sound educated and intelligent about things, and to have conversations, and be part of that. I think that's really sad if they take that out. I think that shows a very strong person. And I'm really wondering if they're going to go overboard here with what they take out. And I think that's when we see the world card here in reverse, that we're going to feel like it's incomplete. And I think those things that they would take out that we really want to know about, like what were her struggles? What were, what did she do when she felt lonely? What were her struggles? How did she overcome them? I think that kind of biography would be much more interesting and much more relatable, and and actually elevate her. I'm getting the sense that this tall Paul is going to clean out so much of it. This reading is going to feel like dry toast. We've witnessed a lot of this. We knew, like, we want to know what was she thinking at that time, and whatnot. Yeah, I think here, this Night of Good Cheer, I think that's tall Paul taking a lot of things out. rather than bringing them to us, presenting them to us. I can just see him ripping the pages, ripping the pages. Some are going to be destroyed, and I think some will go into the Windsor private family information, but I'm not. I think they're going to go too far. I really do, which is really kind of sad because I think it's beautiful to find out that somebody who was so admired was actually a human being who had real fears, who had real thoughts, who had real tears, who had marriage struggles, who had children struggles, who had, family problems, who had problems at work, right? And it doesn't have to be the whole thing is negative. It could just be like, and this is how she handled it. Charles and Andrew were arguing and fighting, and, the lunches became intolerable, and this is how she handled it. And then we could take that and learn how to deal with our own adult children, right? I think that's more what we're looking for from her, from a biography. So I hope he doesn't take out too much, but I'm really getting that he's almost on a power trip here with this 5 of Canes in reverse. He's almost on a power trip, and I think he's going to take out too much. I think he's going to, with this head knocked off, I think he's going to knock off the best parts of it. Um, and then he'll just read like an encyclopedia entry, which is really sad. Really sad. Anyways, I've got to get and figure out what the hell this page of Pentacles keeps showing up for. Um, I'm fascinated. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. Go have a look at the Andrew video, Who's Your Daddy? It honestly, I did it as gently as I could, and it upset a lot of people, and I'm sorry if some of those things do, but some of us really want to know. All right, please take good care. See you online.